90s cartoons, they just hit differently back then. A lot of cartoons which were made for kids seem to have a lot of adult type themes in them, just covered up by the grace of cartoon.
Oh, what does this button do? Excuse me.
And then plopped on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, and we all watched them and they shaped who we are today. But from a child and to my adult life, I think that 90s cartoons were just very funny, humble, and they always ended with a very good life lesson. I think in some instances, we got a little tricked and ended up rooting for a man that was exactly like Big Ed.
How do you say kiss in Tagalog?
Halik.
Halik. Yeah. Okay. May I halik you?
Nasty. And I'm pretty pissed off about it. Just kidding. I'm not. Or am I? You'll never know. I'm a pretty good actress. Today, you guys are gonna watch with me one of my favorite 90s cartoons that I would watch every single morning. Yes, we're talking about Saturday morning Nicktoons, and we're looking at Hey Arnold. Episode Ernie in Love. So the episode opens up with our Big Ed character, I mean Mr. Potts, hiding in a trash can like the Grouch. By the way, this is exactly where he belongs. You'll see why, we'll get there. Arnold, our 9-year-old main character, who for some reason is a very rational 9-year-old and helps all of the 40-something-year-olds do what's right, think logically, or be a good person. It's always Arnold. He's in 4th grade. The only dilemma I had in 4th grade was me trying to keep my Tamagotchi and my Furby fed, not helping my 40-something-year-old neighbors with their issues. But I guess we all mature at our own rate, so that's fine, I get it. So he finds Mr. Potts in the trash can and asks,
Mr. Potts?
Go away.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Leave me alone. I'm busy.
But you're in a trash can.
Shh.
and then we find out why he's hiding in the trash can. Yep, you guessed it, a big, beautiful woman. She's a model.
Natural.
And he just wanted to wait and hide and creepily put his little body in a trash can just so he could watch her walk out of the place that she works at. Which is weird because he can do that at home. He's got tons of magazines of her.
Hey, isn't this the woman I saw today when we were hiding in the trash can?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Arnold then tries to give him his magazine that he dropped and notices, hey, that's the woman we saw earlier when you were hiding in the trash can, and look at that. You got her all over your wall.
Mr. Potts, you forgot your
Can
magazine.
a guy get a little privacy?
It is her.
Yeah, he's got more than enough magazines that he can catch a glimpse in the comfort of his own home. No trash cans needed, even though that is where he belongs.
Okay, yes, you're right. Very good.
Now, hold on, wait a minute. Nickelodeon, I saw that. You made sure to have short, weird men have to have a literal stepping stool to get onto his place of rest. Hilarious, I love it.
But why do you have her pictures all over the wall?
I ran out of wallpaper. I don't know. Okay. Her name is Lola. And the reason her picture's up on the wall is because I kind of have a little crush on her.
That's great.
Arnold's so sweet, and usually he is very mature, but in this instance, he doesn't realize that he's been stalking a woman for weeks now.
When did you meet
Well,
her?
I haven't actually met her. For the past couple of weeks, I've been waiting outside her building every morning when she goes out and every evening when she comes home just to catch a glimpse of her.
He just saw her walking down the street one day while he was handling a bulldozer and could not stop. She was a goddess. His eyes were locked and were not moving from the beautiful woman that he discovered. Literally, would not look at anything else and could have harmed someone. He exposed this guy just trying to take a poop, rude, and then followed her while he was driving the bulldozer. All while this chick is just reading, which is kind of sad because something he said is that nobody ever notices him, and she literally didn't. She didn't even look up from her book. The man is driving a full-on loud-ass bulldozer all the way down to her home, and she still sees nothing. Or her ignoring skill of random men approaching her or following her in a very dangerous city is very good. You know, women, we do this all the time.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Not even gonna look their way. I prefer not to be approached on the street. If you're a man asking, well, how do we approach you? Dumb. It's a very simple concept. Most women really don't like it, and most of you guys that approach women on the street are not a quality man, and you will see that Mr. Potts is not a quality man. He is literally Big Ed, cartoonified. So all Mr. Potts wants to do, very harmless, is go up to this woman that he's never talked to and been following for the past few weeks and tell her that he loves her.
I wanted to go up to her and say, excuse me, miss, you don't know me, but the thing is, I love you.
Imagine someone following you for weeks and then they finally come up to you and they tell you that they are madly in love with you. Holy shit.
Then I thought, Ernie, what are you, nuts? You can't go up to a perfect stranger and tell her you love her. She'll think you're a lunatic.
Yeah, good call, buddy. Because let's be real, if you are like Mr. Potts and you are saying that you're in love with a woman that you've never ever met, just following her around the city, you're most likely not in love with her. You're just horny. So Arnold, being the naive but still very grown-up little boy he is, says, well, just go talk to her. She would absolutely love that.
But why didn't you just talk to her?
She'd never go out with me.
How do you know?
I just know, okay?
But why?
Why? I'll tell you why. You want to know why? Because she's a big, beautiful, successful fashion model, and I'm a short little twerp with a big nose and a day job that nobody ever noticed for nothing.
Now this some of you men up, because if you read in the comment section of this video, in 2022, most women do not like when random men approach them in the street. And Mr. Potts is a construction worker, and you know, you construction workers watching right now, do not lie to me. Y'all know y'all got a certain reputation.
Whoa, speaking of working, check out that sweet piece.
Yeah, I bet she makes sex all over the place, all the time, like it's outstanding.
And the city construction workers, whoa, another level of catcalling. Anyway, this is when little mini Michelle was like, oh gosh, poor little tiny, not conventionally attractive man. I really hope she dates you. Why wouldn't she want an insecure man who hides in trash cans and stalks her outside her job? Who wouldn't want that? He must really love her. Looks don't matter, and a woman should date him. He's a nice guy.
That's why.
Well, maybe you're not tall, and maybe your nose is a little big, but you're also a nice guy.
See? There it is. We got conditioned from a young age to feel sorry for the nice guy, when we shouldn't give a fuck. Just because someone's nice doesn't mean you have to date them, okay? Little girls out there, tons of men are nice to me. Tons of men are poop faces.
I think anyone would be lucky to have you as a friend.
You want to go out with me?
I'm serious.
First of all, Mr. Potts, he's 9. Second, notice Arnold didn't answer the question. But eventually, Arnold convinces Mr. Potts to talk to her because Mr. Potts is now saying her name in his sleep.
Lola. Lola. I love you, Lola.
Crafting sculptures of her. Poetry.
I long to meet you, dearest Lola. If I was Spanish, I'd say hola.
Really bad poetry. And Arnold is fed up. He's like, dude, go walk those stubby ass legs and just say hello to her.
That's it. You have to talk to Lola.
And he actually says, okay, probably time that I just muster up the courage to go talk to a human being, because that's what females are. They're just human that can completely slaughter you with just one word. I think you're ugly and I'll never date you. And you'll spiral into a complete deep depression and end up in Dumptown, USA.
Huh? Dear Mordecai, stop wallowing in your lady woes and come have sodas
with other single bros. There's a place with hot sandy beaches and an all-you-can-eat buffet. So pick up your sacks and jam with the crew in Dumptown, USA.
But he says fine, and him and Arnold, who is 9, tries to find her. They end up finding her and they hide behind a tree while she's eating ice cream on a bench by herself.
Wouldn't strike up a conversation.
Every woman's dream. Every woman loves to be watched while they're just trying to mind their own business and eat ice cream.
I see you got some ice cream.
Oh, shut down.
My name is Ernie.
Lola.
Lola, oh, that's a nice name.
So kind of rough at first, and she's kind of like, okay, time for me to go.
Oh my gosh, it's 2:30 already. I gotta go. It was nice meeting you.
This random man interrupted my peaceful time of eating ice cream and reading a book, so I'm gonna leave. And she leaves so quickly that she leaves her book there, and Ernie thinks of this as a sign. This is God, or whoever you believe, and runs to her and says, you forgot your book, m'lady.
Hey, Lola, you forgot your book.
Oh gosh.
And she says, thanks, bye.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
And then he continues to follow her.
Hey, you know what? I saw...
Body language, people, yes, for men and women. If someone's very short with you, they probably just don't really want to talk to you, and they're a little freaked out by you. Just take the L, get out.
saw you a couple of times before around the neighborhood.
You did?
You hid in a trash can. You followed her home on a bulldozer. You're following her right now, all the way to work, bro. But at the time, little Michelle was like, wow, he's so nice. He's doing such a great job. Adult Michelle is like, pepper spray, dick cunt. karate chop to the throat, chainsaw, make sure he's unconscious or dead, and then I will call the police. You followed me to my job. Now you know where I work. I know some of y'all can't understand sarcasm. No, I will not chainsaw a guy for talking to me on the street. I don't carry my chainsaw all the time, so it's not possible. Anyway, so he finally asked her out.
Listen, you're probably pretty busy. I'm sure you got a whole agenda, but I was just wondering if maybe, I could, I don't know, buy you a cup of coffee sometime. I know you probably go out with a lot of guys.
Are you calling me a sir? And notice that he's doing that thing that shy anime girls do. The whole,
maybe sometime we can maybe hang out.
they always make so many anime girls do that. But he reassures her because he knows that he's not the typical guy that this woman would date.
You wouldn't, under regular circumstances, think about going out with a guy like me.
But he is.
But I promise you, I'm a nice guy.
So there you go. You should date him because he's just a nice guy.
What do you say, huh? You know, why don't I take a shot? Go out with me.
They set us up. I told you, they set all of us up, ladies. This is why so many of those nice guys are upset now that we're around our 25, 30 year mark or higher. Because we no longer just date you just because you're nice.
But I promise you, I'm a nice guy.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Dude, the ice cream man was nice to me the other day. I'm not dating the Jolly Ollie man. The Jolly Ollie man in Arnold's universe was crazy.
I'll take a snow cone.
$18.
All I have is 70 cents.
But in my universe, he was very nice. Does that mean I should date him? No. Anyway, that's why many of the 90s nice guys are upset. Because we just don't date you just because you're nice. That would be weird. And if you watch, a lot of these nice guys aren't so nice, especially when you tell them.
She said yes, yes. We're gonna spend the whole afternoon at the boardwalk. I can't believe it.
Yes, Mr. Potts and every other single nice guy dream has just came true in the Arnold universe. A tall, very attractive, successful woman who takes care of herself said yes to a man that stalked her, has a sculpture made out of her, has her picture all over his wall, interrupted her reading, followed her to her work, has said yes. Yikes. His dream has come true. So they go on a date while Arnold hides in the shadows and watches per Mr. Potts' request.
Okay, she's gonna be here any minute. Just stay behind us in case I need advice.
And the date was actually fun. They had a very bomb time.
I only got a minute. She's in the can. We're really hitting it off. I think she likes me.
That's great.
He's not completely horrible. Remember, he's a nice guy. And nice guys can be very fun to hang out with. Doesn't mean they have to date them or, do the with them, but some think that's what you have to do.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Oh, I bought you a bag of mixed nuts. I figured that with your job, you might get hungry, every 2 hours, so I didn't know if you had snacks for later.
Thanks a lot, Ernie. That's sweet. And thanks for today. I had a really good time.
And then, because Ernie had such a great time and was under the impression that you were hitting it off, he asked her, when can I see you again?
Maybe I could call you and, we could go out again next week. Maybe see a movie or something.
Well,
Ooh, that face probably means it's a no.
It's not that. I had a great time with you.
So naturally you wouldn't want to go out with me again. Now I understand.
It's just that I'm large and lovely and you're different.
You mean short?
I'm sorry.
Basically not attracted to him for something he can't help, which very much sucks. But what are you gonna do if someone's not attracted to you? You can't just force them to be attracted to something that you have. And would he rather her keep dating him and him buying her mixed nuts and taking her out, spending money on her, than to reveal she's not attracted to him? I've had men say that they don't want to date me because I'm too muscular, and what am I gonna say? Well, but I'm a nice girl. I'm nice. No, it doesn't work, right? So that's a pretty great reason to not date someone, but back in the day, little Michelle was like, what? What a big old bitch. Except I whispered it because that's a no-no word when you're little.
Oh, well, I understand. You're right. How would it look?
And then it only took about not even a second for him to realize, no, this is wrong. How dare you not date me? The taxi cab drives off and he makes the taxi cab hit the brakes and back up to tell her,
you know what, Lola? It's not okay. When you look at me, you see a little man. But I'm not a little man. I'm a big man. Maybe not here, but in here.
Just look at this nice guy. Fists all balled up, angry, snarling face.
I think that's what should count. I thought maybe you were the kind of person who could see that, but I guess I was wrong.
Okay, first of all, saying that's what counts as in personality when he literally only likes her for her looks is an interesting statement. And the whole I thought you were the type of person who would see that. Honey, you don't even know her. How can you judge someone's personality from a trash can? So he's mentally manipulating this woman that he just met pretty much and stalked for weeks, all because she doesn't see him the way that he wants her to see him. So he's about to waltz his little legs back into the cab after his little mic drop, but then he's got one more thing to say.
And one more thing, I'm taking my nuts.
Just snatched the snack that he gave her. You can't have those unless you have sex with me. He's pretty much over her, done with her. How dare she not like him back?
How did it go?
We decided not to see each other again.
But I thought it was going so well.
And takes down his multiple posters of her, covers the statue, but still looks at her picture at night so that he can, you know, do a quick little thing and then pass out. And you know what? That glaring, angry look he gave her, the Arnold fist and the speech, it all worked. This girl is so mentally weak, mentally manipulated, mentally just like many of us were back then, that she decided to drive to Ernie's place of living and apologize for not wanting to go on a date with him again. Thank you, Nickelodeon!
Ernie? Ernie?
This is why I went out with so many nice guys and then felt bad that I didn't want to go back out with them. And you know what the cherry on top is? Is that he's a little butt cheek when he opens the door to her.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, listen, I thought about what you said and I realized that instead of being large and lovely, I was being small and petty. It was just wrong for me not to go out with you again just because you're a little short. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry, Ernie. And if you could ever forgive me, maybe we could have dinner sometime. Or maybe you could just shake my hand. Okay, I understand.
Don't act like you weren't just doing something to her picture the night before and you weren't about to do it again. Well, she ends up asking him out, and this is the fantasy that all nice guys want.
Guess I could shake your hand. And, I guess maybe we could have coffee sometime.
This is what Hey Arnold taught me as a child. You should date the short, mediocre man that is insecure and gets mad at you when you say you aren't attracted to him because he's a nice guy. This was my childhood and I absolutely loved every single minute of it, even if I'm being completely dramatic over a silly little cartoon. But it's not that silly, it really applies to all the memes that we see about nice guys today. But it's the absolute best show and I've been re-watching it multiple times throughout the day as I edit. And like I said, Mr. Potts is very similar to Big Ed. They both absolutely never go for women that share not even one single physical characteristic of themselves. It reminded me of the episode when Mr. Potts and Mr. Wynn go to the beach and try to pick up girls that look like bikini models while they look like this.
Her out, Win. Why don't you go talk to her?
Hello, pretty beach lady.
Ew.
Women that tend to take care of themselves, women that take care of their looks, they usually work out. And let's be real, these two don't put much effort into their looks, and yes, I'm definitely talking about the fat issue. So they go after women that have a certain look, a certain aesthetic, a certain visually pleasing body and face, but then play the victim and expect someone to feel bad for them if a hot chick is not attracted to them. Then all of a sudden, it's you should like me for my personality. Oh, I have a neck issue. Oh, I'm short. The girls that I find attractive don't find me attractive. I don't understand. I'm a nice guy. I just always wonder, why doesn't Mr. Potts or men like Big Ed date someone to the equivalency of themselves? A short, fat woman that has a shitty ass personality. Why not date one of those? Exactly, because you suck. You don't like yourself. Which in short, you wouldn't be attracted to them. Boom! Big Ed is Mr. Potts from my favorite 90s show, Hey Arnold. Well, thank you for traveling back to the 90s with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I don't care. Too bad. You got to this point, so I got your view.
Gotcha, bitch.
But if you did, you're in luck because I have a very fat-phobic episode of Hey Arnold coming up very soon. And remember, don't forget to leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, or I will show up at your house, break through your window with this.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on.